schools in Maryland, outside Washington, D.C., are now prohibited from disclosing students' gender identity to their parents if the school thinks that the parents would be unsupportive of a gender transition if that's where they're going. That's according to schools' guidelines. Disclosing a child's gender identity information to his or her own parent or guardian may violate privacy laws and will be kept confidential. Here to discuss, and with more on this, co-founder of Moms for Liberty, Tina Descovich. Tina, I'm a parent. My kids just graduated from high school. The idea that that kind of information or they're pursuing a gender transition would be kept from me, my head would explode if I found that out.
Yeah, it's happening all across America.
If they were trying to, by the way, I want to make this clear. If I found out they were keeping information from me.
Of course, parents love their children. You know, most parents in the United States love and care for their children and will help and support them in every way possible. What you just referenced in Maryland is happening all across the country. It was happening here the last 2 years in Florida. Luckily, we passed and the governor signed the Parental Rights in Education bill just a couple months ago. And so families will be protected here in Florida, but it is definitely happening all across the country. We have lawsuits, parents that are lodging lawsuits now against school districts because their daughters, their middle school daughter here in Florida, January Littlejohn's middle school daughter, had a private closed door meeting with the school where she chose which locker room she was going to change in, which restroom she was going to use, and where she was going to spend the night in overnight field trips with sex she was going to sleep with. And parents were not only notified, the policies are written in districts now to not tell parents, so to deceive them.
My goodness. Now, you're part of a group called Moms for Liberty, and that account, from what I understand, was locked out of Twitter after speaking out against California's gender-affirming healthcare bill, accusing them of endangering children by facilitating out-of-state tourism for youth gender transition treatment, posting this tweet. Gender dysphoria is a mental health disorder that is being normalized by predators across the USA. California kids are at extreme risk from predatory adults. Now they want to liberate children all over the country. Does a double mastectomy on a preteen sound like progress? So Twitter locked out the account. I guess no free speech allowed there. Tell me your thoughts on this when this happened.
So Twitter is attacking truth. We have a real problem in our country that truth is considered hate speech. If someone's feelings get hurt these days, it's considered hate speech. And Twitter is a place where people exchange ideas, where they should value free speech. It's kind of like the modern community square. And it's unfortunate that they are taking factual statements and calling them hateful and banning them. It really limits conversation and progress for our country to move forward on very important issues.
Yeah, and I don't know how you feel, but like the whole issue of being a trans or pursuing that direction, I think that's up to individuals. And at a certain age, they can pursue whatever they want. When they're under 18, when you're still living with your parents, when they're, this is a discussion in the family. And it should not be a political football, which is how it's being used. This is a very personal thing, and that's what I find as a parent so offensive, is that's a discussion for the family. The school doesn't own the child, neither does the parent, but I mean, that's not their business.
Parental rights are inherent. We are born with our rights to raise our children. They are fundamental. And Moms for Liberty, our mission statement is to help parents, to empower them to defend their parental rights at all levels of government. That is our goal and mission. These nuanced issues that we get involved in have to do with parental rights. What California is doing, not only are they affirming children and supplying them with gender blocking or with hormone blocking medications and offering basically mutilations of these children's bodies, double mastectomies and things of that nature. What this bill does, which is really, really unsettling is it takes state law. So it's allowing states that don't allow this on children, it's allowing those children to go to California to have these things happen. And they also have policies in place in districts there where they are giving these medications to children without parental permission. So they are driving a wedge between parents and children. And that's where our organization comes in. We think that parents have the fundamental right to direct the upbringing, the education, and the medical care of their children.
Yes, Moms for Liberty. Tina Descovich, thank you so